what I've done is put together an online video course. What I've done is put together an online video library of every step of the What I've done is I put together an online video course. This video course will walk you all the way through the inventing process. It'll talk to you about patents, the idea, design drawings, engineering, manufacturing, marketing. This is your blueprint from step A to step Z. It'll take you all the way through the process. I've spent thousands and thousands of hours of research over the last 4 years, multiple trips to China, and hundreds of thousands of dollars to gather this information, to put this all together. Now, there is no way that I can put this all on an online video library because it would be too timely. But what I have done is put together the basic concepts of everything that you'll have to do. It'll be your blueprint to take you from step A through the following process. What we've also done to ensure you that you're going to have the success in getting things done that you need to do is we've allowed you unlimited emails. So as you're going through the videos and you're in the design process and you have a question or you get maybe confused on which direction you should be going, you can send us an email and we'll respond, get you on the right path. What this course does is allow you to work on your project at your own time, your own pace. You'll never be rushed. You'll always have the information at your fingertips. You have unlimited access to the emails, unlimited access to the videos. We want you to feel comfortable throughout this process. I'm not going to do your project for you, but I will guide you through the process. We do offer all of the services that you'll need, but we really hope that you'll look at other services before you look at us, because we really want you to see the value in what we do. Reedy, go lay down and be quiet. A lot of the benefits of doing business with DMI is not just the online video library or the emails. What's great about this, here, I think you'll find that the biggest benefit of doing business with DMI is not going to come just through the videos and the emails. You're going to find that the services that we offer, that we can provide to you, will be invaluable. I mean, we will save you so many thousands of dollars. As an example, on my project itself, when I first started it, I put my I think that in the future, the biggest benefits of doing business with DMI is going to come after you've went through the video library, after you've sent in a few emails, and you're really getting into the production of your product from the idea to you're really ready to make it happen. When I started out, I invented a dog leash. I didn't know that I would spend 4 years on the project. I didn't know that I'd spend $110,000 before I had a prototype in my hand. When I got quotes from the American companies to produce the molds for the first 3 sizes, they wanted $150,000 to $225,000 to produce those 3 molds. Once I got all the engineering drawings and everything done and submitted online, I got bids from all over the world. And the company that I actually went with initially bid me $57,000 on molds. Not much of a savings, about $130,000 to $150,000 versus the U.S. Once I actually made the decision to go to China, through my several trips over the last Over the last 4 years, I have made multiple trips to China. I have built relationships with engineers, with factories. I have created a network that is beneficial to all of us that are trying to do this. I mean, we would love to build a product here in America, but it's not always possible. A lot of the simpler ideas that don't have much assembly, they really can be done here. But you really have to compare what it takes to manufacture a product here in the US versus what does it take to manufacture one in China. When I got ready to actually manufacture my product and find a manufacturer, I looked at the American companies. I asked for quotes for like the mold injections to be built. I was quoted $150,000 to $225,000 for 3 molds. China quoted me about $60,000 for the same molds. Well, I had no experience. I've never been to China. I have no idea. I don't speak the language. But what I did do is I found a place online that I could submit my engineering drawings. I submitted them, and I got quotes from all over the world. And what I did was I was working with an engineer that was familiar with a certain part of China, and he said this is a great part of China. It's all industrialized, it's fast growing, and the companies are really pretty good overall. So what I did with no experience was I spent $10,000. I bought an airplane ticket to China and back, the hotels. I set up with 4 different factories. I went to factory A on day 1, factory B on day 2, factory C on day 3, and day 4, factory D. I went in, I told them that I'm looking for help with research development, prototyping. I gave them my wants, desires, and then I had a couple days off, and then I went back to each company. Well, out of the 4 companies, only 1 was really busy. 3 of them really didn't have anybody working in the factories. When I visited the offices, there weren't any engineers, anybody working. 1 company just stood out head and shoulders over the rest. So I get very fortunate to find this company. I actually have a friend that owns a toy company with an office in Hong Kong and an office here in Houston, Texas, that's very large. And he made the statement that I didn't get lucky because I spent $10,000 and all the time and due diligence to go find it. But I did get fortunate. So you get to do the same things that I did. So as a part of the benefits of being with DMI, if we do some of the processes for you, if we do the engineering drawings, and you're going to be a part of our network, you won't have to fly over to China cold, not know who you're talking to. We'll actually have somebody pick you up at the airport, take you to a couple different factories, and you'll have your engineer that works with you and only you. There'll be nobody else. I mean, he'll be there to walk you through the process. So going to China can be quite scary. It's really an incredible invention. Going to China really can be very scary to a lot of people, but there's no reason for it. It's really a great adventure. It's a once-in-a-lifetime trip. I recommend that when you really get into the manufacturing stage and you're ready to produce the product, I really recommend that when you get to the stage of your project that you're ready to start actually looking at manufacturing, that you go to China. Nobody's going to work for you like you are. When I went to China, I got a great product built, but I was there every step of the way. So when my molds were made, I flew back to China. When they did the first round of production, I went to China. When they were ready to test my product, I went to China. Now, I personally recommend that whenever you start, when you get ready to truly think about manufacturing your product, be it in America or be it in China, you need to be there. If you're not there, somebody representing you needs to be there. And what I mean by this is nobody's going to make sure that they don't cut corners but you. If you want a well-built product, then you're going to have to step up to the plate and make that happen. You know, you hear the stories of the Chinese factories, you know, give a great prototype, and then they give, when they send product, it's actually built cheaply, and that's because nobody's paying attention. That happens in America just as well as it happens in China. So you have to be a very active part, or you have to have an agent that's a very active part of the process with your product. They have to be there and demand that there's no corners cut. If you're not there, it can happen. We can all be taken. You know, my 4-year process has not been a complete cakewalk. I've had my trials, tribulations, I've had the ups and downs. But the biggest benefits are that when it's time to manufacture, I recommend that you go to China. You need to be a part of this process to know what's going on. Nobody knows your product like you do. You know how it's supposed to look, how it's supposed to function, what's right and what's wrong. They're only going by the information that you have actually given to them. If you're not there during testing, you'll never know that your product where you need it to be. So, in the testing process, there are so many things that are going to come up with your product that you never even imagined would come up. I mean, this doesn't function the way you thought it would, or that functions different, or there's breaking points that you didn't realize, and there's just so many things. And if you need to be there. Some people are going to have a very simple product that's not going to have any working parts. I mean, that's just the manufacturing. Ideas can range from very simple. I'd like to take just a second to talk about the idea, because the idea really is the creation of your product. It's the starting of the process through the entire thing. Inventions and products can go from very simple, something as simple as a Frisbee that has no working parts, it's so simple to make, to manufacture, to something like a retractable dog leash, a fishing rod. Anything that has working parts becomes more difficult to design, to test, to manufacture. You don't want to get lost in these processes. You need guidance. You've got to have somebody that can guide you through this process to get you to that point.